Lighter might be one of the most fun stunners in Zenless Zone Zero. He's fast, super cool, and offers a lot of damage potential for your DPS units. However, most of his potential can only be utilized by a fire or ice DPS unit. But there's still a lot of utility he can provide for other units, and in today's video we're going to cover everything about Lighter, from basics to builds and even Mindscapes, so you can bring Lighter to his maximum potential. Lighter is a stunner agent from Sons of Caledon, and just as usual he gets base impact when leveling up his core skill. This is quite important for him, not only because he's a stunner, but also because of his additional ability, which provides a lot of damage bonus for fire and ice units. He has a really good moveset and requires low field time. Not as low as Koleda, which is still the queen when it comes to days per field time. But he's quite fast, and the utility he provides is way superior than Koleda. Since he also benefits from his own buffs, he also deals some decent amount of damage. However, it is nowhere near enough to make him a main DPS. Now let's take a closer look at Lighter's kit. His basic attack has one of the biggest quality of life features I ever seen in this game. You can pretty much just hold down your basic attack button and you go through all your basic attack string. However, let's be honest, outside of the last hit, his basic attack isn't that worth it. This isn't an issue since there's plenty of ways for you to skip straight to his last hit. The reason why his last hit is so important for you is because of his core skill. Speaking of core skill, a lot of gameplay revolves around it. The description is quite huge, but I'm not going to read word by word. Let's just focus on the main points. Lighter has another resource called Morale. It has a passive generation, but it also regenerates morale whenever someone, including Lighter himself, spends energy. When your morale meter is above this mark, the next time Lighter enters the field, he will trigger a quick assist. Also, your last basic attack will trigger Morale Burst, which enhances your final hit combo while consuming morale, as long as you keep holding or pressing the basic attack button. This enhanced combo reduces enemies' fire and ice resistance while also increasing your impact. If you deplete your morale while you're doing this enhanced combo, you get to use a powerful finisher with really high damage and days multipliers. Hitting the enemy with a combo finisher will apply a debuff on them that increases the stun duration by 3 seconds. If you activate his additional ability, the enhanced combo also provides up to 75% fire and ice damage for all squad members. It scales with Lighter's impact, and you need a total of 270 impact to get the maximum damage. It might sound like a lot, and it definitely is, but there's a few ways for you to reach this total impact. Dodges are quite interesting because Lighter has access to another type of dodge that you can use during your punch combos. Shuffle dodge. It won't interrupt your combo, meaning that you can still avoid damage while punching your enemies. Doing a dodge counter also lets you skip straight to his final combo. Assists are also really good. Both Assist Follow-Up and Quick Assist, which you'll be triggering quite a lot thanks to his core skill, are super fast and also allows you to skip straight to his final combo. Just keep in mind that for the maximum days and super potential, you still need to get above 80 morale. EX Special has a lot of damage and days potential, but unlike all other basic attack skips, it only jumps up to the 4th basic attack, which is fine because it works a gap close before triggering the punch combo. Just remember that it has a follow-up, meaning that the total cost for the EX Special is half your total energy. There's also a variation of your EX Special which you can trigger right after your Shuffle Dodge. It won't interrupt your combo, and in case you are not doing the final combo, using this skill lets you jump straight to it. As for his chain attack, it has some damage potential, but since the stun timer is better used by your main DPS, I wouldn't recommend it using that much. Of course, the extra 3 seconds from Lighter's core can help you go for a full chain attack. The Lighter's chain attack alone takes around 2.5 seconds. And now to finish it up, let's talk about his ultimate. It is insanely fast and has some really interesting damage and days multipliers, especially because Lighter gets access to a lot of damage buffs. But as of now on the 1.3 version, decibels are still shared and there's no point in using utility ultimates instead of DPS ones. But keep this information in mind because Hoyoverse World announced on a previous dev post that they plan to change this, and once that happens, oh boy, Lighter's ultimate is crazy good. Now that you understand Lighter's kit, let's break it down into the main points and set the ground for your gameplay. Thanks to the morale mechanic, Lighter is able to quickly close the gap in the battlefield and apply a lot of days, debuff the enemy, and also buff both himself and your squad members. Everything in a short field time. While it may seem that Lighter gets vulnerable during his punch combo, Lighter not only is able to dodge without losing his combo, but also gets 80% damage reduction during the Morale Burst combo. To make a comparison, Qingyi only gets 40% damage reduction during her basic attack, and Piper also only gets 40% during the spin animation. He's best paired with a fire or ice DPS, which is kinda worrying right now because so far we don't have a lot of options. But don't forget he also increases stun duration by 3 seconds, meaning that other DPS units can still benefit from Lighter's daze and utility potential. He requires a lot of impact in order to maximize his fire and ice damage from the additional ability, and as of now, there's only 3 weapons that allow Lighter to hit the maximum potential of his additional ability. As for gameplay, Lighter is really straightforward. All you need to do is swap to him once you have enough morale and punch down the enemy until you exhaust your morale. This way you get access to the powerful finisher and also get maximum impact. Since your impact buff lasts for 6 seconds, you have enough time to use your EX special combo on the enemy before swapping back to your main DPS. If you want to speed up Lighter's morale recovery, remember to spend energy on other squad members so you can trigger another morale burst. His damage buff lasts for 30 seconds, so it's really easy to keep it with 100% uptime on your whole squad. For skill upgrade priority, basic and special attacks are your top priority, since these are your main sources of daze. Assists come right after, since you also use a lot of quick and defensive assists as well. Chain attack and dodges are your last priority, since chain attack daze is almost useless and you're probably not using Lighter as a DPS. Remember to level up his core whenever possible, since the extra impact can help you stun enemies faster. Now let's talk about how you should build your Lighter. For this set options, you can use either Shockstar Disco or Protopunk. Shockstar Disco offers you the highest daze potential, and daze bonuses are quite good on Lighter, who gets a lot of impact but not so much daze bonuses. However, Protopunk and Swing Jazz offers higher utility for your DPS. While the Protopunk 2-piece effect is useless for Lighter, the 4-piece effect is quite easy for you to trigger, and unlike Swing Jazz, it doesn't require you to use either Chain Attack or Ultimate. I personally rather recommend using Swing Jazz on your support and leave it Protopunk for Lighter. As for the final 2-piece effect, Shockstar Disco is your best pick, but in case you're already going for the 4-piece effect, any offensive option works here, and you should aim for the best discs you can find. For disc stats, there's a lot of different options depending on the team composition and how much you want to invest on Lighter. If you don't plan to invest that much and is only looking for his stun potential, then Disc 6 is all you should focus on. Disc 4 and 5 are mostly for his damage potential, which in case you're not going that deep into Lighter, then I wouldn't recommend you to worry at all. Disc 4 should be a crit disc or anomaly proficiency. While anomaly proficiency is quite bad on Lighter, if you're running him with a fire-focused anomaly unit, you should increase anomaly proficiency to avoid lowering your burn damage that much. Otherwise, you should go for crit rate or crit damage depending on your overall stat distribution. For Disc 5, any offensive option works here, and even penetration is fine since Lighter can increase his damage by huge amounts. Disc 6 is impact, and there's simply no other choice here. Lighter buffs and of course daze potential scales with impact, so any other option is going to lower your potential by quite a lot. Finally, for substats, focus on attack, crit stats or anomaly proficiency depending on your build and team compositions. Then flat attack, and lastly, penetration. Now let's talk about weapon choice, because the number of weapons you can use to reach the maximum potential of his additional ability is quite limited. His signature weapon's by far the best one if you're pairing him with a crit-based ice or fire unit. It offers up to 30% crit damage for these attributes, but outside of this specific DPS style, it won't provide a lot of utility besides the daze. Qingyi's signature weapon also works pretty well with Lighter. The daze potential is lower and it only provides damage for your team. However, it is a solid option for teams that won't benefit from using Lighter's signature. The only non-limited weapon that can reach 270 impact for Lighter is called the signature, but using it requires some changes in your rotation since you need to use your EX special before your morale burst. Outside of S-rank options, the best free-to-play option is Fossilized Core. It gives some impact and extra days at the beginning of the fight. Steam Oven isn't recommended because it gives energy regeneration instead of impact, and even at phase 5, the extra impact it gives isn't enough to justify running it. If you're looking for more information on other weapons, then check the spreadsheet linked in the description, and feel free to join the Discord server to keep up with early calculations. Now that you have a better idea on how to build Lighter, let's take a closer look at his Mindscapes. Mindscape 1 enhances Lighter's score even further, and the extra stun duration can help you dish out some extra damage. This is especially useful for units like Soldier 11, Coring, and Qingyi 1, who gets extra damage against stunned enemies. Mindscape 2 is a huge DPS increase, since the stun multiplier can be utilized by any DPS. It is smaller than Qingyi or even Lycan, but it is still a solid addition. Your additional ability is also improved and can now give your whole squad up to 90% fire and ice damage. Mindscape 4 adds a bit of energy regeneration for both Lighter and the on-field unit. Since energy regeneration DPS increase is hard to measure, I didn't include in my calculations, but overall 10% energy regeneration isn't that huge. Finally, Mindscape 6 is purely for Lighter damage potential. The increased morale generation allows Lighter to jump more often to the battlefield and deal some extra damage and daze as well. While the additional damage it gives scales with your attack, the multiplier scales with your impact. And just like his additional ability, you also need to reach 270 impact to get the maximum potential. Overall, if you're looking to increase Lighter support potential, going up to Mindscape 2 is your best choice. Going for Mindscape 6 is just for those looking for Lighter as a DPS, but even so, I would recommend going for his signature before going above Mindscape 2. Whether his signature is going to be more valuable for you than his Mindscape 1 depends on the team composition you are looking to play. Soldier 11 and Allen, for example, highly benefits from Lighter's signature, but Burnies won't benefit as much as those two. And that should be everything about Lighter. If you enjoyed this video, remember to give it a like, and if you're looking for more Zenless Zone Zero content, be sure to subscribe as well. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments down below or join my Discord server. As usual, thanks for watching, have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in my next video.